Hello everybody, my name is Boris and we are in business of talking about Ethernet on JETSON THOR, and we talk about two different kinds of Ethernet which is on the JETSON. That is GBA classic 5 gigabits per second Ethernet with the connector RJ45, and let's say, and we can see the traces and how it's going from the system on chip through the module and through the NIC and the magnetics to the port RJ45. So usually system on chip has some let's say features which are usually uh, like MAC part of the address or MAC part of the layer, which is communicating somehow through some link. In this case, I think it's a PCI Express link to the device. In this case, this is 5 gigabit Ethernet NIC. And then after that, signal is going through the recovery and to the port. So, of course, this is a two-way communication. It's Ethernet, so from RJ45, the same situation, but inverse or vice versa. Not the direction is opposite from the what we described. And let's say we can say that this is all somehow a pi or physical layer, and the MAC layer is inside the system on chip, and it is dealing with the MAC addresses. So that's the property of the system on chip. We can check that later. Of course, is this system on chip, which is T5000, actually, as other chips or microcontrollers have ability to, but they for sure do, have ability to dealing with the MAC addresses. And how many of them does it have? It's supposed to be 5 MAC addresses inside, one for this regular GBA 5 gigabits per second communication, and 4 others, and we will see the purpose of them. So we can continue with other slides. So we can see from the documentation how it's going. So this is of course model, this is system on chip, this is the lines which are going outwards on the edge of the model to the NIC, and then after that it going through the magnetics and to the RJ45 ports. There's some things visible here, like here is a power supply 1.8 volts. We have some ESD protection, and this NIC has external clock source, blah blah blah. So those are usual things, and this is only one link towards output RJ45 ports. I mean, when I say link, I mean all of that, and these lines that are transferring data to the outside world in sense of model are PCIe, but we will check that more later and have full, I hope, full description of it. So this is the boundary, let's say, somewhere here inside the system on chip of the MAC layer, and here we have, let's say, physical layer. But we will discuss about these things more later. We can go further. The 4 other links towards outside world, and they are Ethernet, are actually multi-gigabit Ethernet connection, and there is 4 of them. Short MGBE, and the JETSON THOR integrates advanced multi-gigabit Ethernet MGBE controllers. So it says that in documentation there is 4 of them. MGBE controllers support high-speed communication with external devices such as external Ethernet PI and switches, but we will see outside the module and even on carrier board there is no PI layer of Ethernet for this. At least it seems so. So it is more likely to from the MAC addresses it go directly to something else. We will see that. But in case of 5 gigabit Ethernet, it was said that there is a physical layer on carrier board, but in this case no. At least it doesn't look so. So these connections can be established via XFI differential lines. So this automatically implies that there is some differential lines for noise reduction or something like that, but we will check, and that's why we mark this as a red, to check this later and have more and full description of what is XFI differential lines, and probably for the reduction of noise and yeah, enabling line rate of 2.5, 5 gigabits and 10 gigabits, or through the 25 GoE differential lines, or up to 4 times 25 gigabits per second performance. So I'm not sure. Maybe this one is classic. So maybe this is the mistake, because this is up to 10 gigabits per second is for the one which was mentioned before, which is classical, but I'm not sure. But 4 of them there is a maximum for all 4 lines for the transferring. There is a possibility of 25 gigabits per second transfer, so in total it's 100 gigabit per second performance when we use full capability. The MGBA controllers are designed to deliver robust scalable networking capabilities, making them ideal for high bandwidth applications. So one thing to mention is that usually until this store, I didn't see it before, MGBA or multi-gigabit Ethernet was mentioned that it's up to 10 gigabits per second, but these 4, I guess they can go from these rates of transfer up to 25. So maybe this 25 gigabits per second is something new for these edge devices. Of course, in Blackwell architecture, I think it was a possibility in this communication for the GBA or Gigabit Ethernet, and you can see and find that in one of my videos. It was a capability of 400 gigabits per second of transfer, and also additional, but not Ethernet, but InfiniBand possibility, also 400 gigabits per second data transfer rate. So in addition to one RJ45, we have one QSFP28, which have 4 lines, as it mentioned here, with capability of 25 gigabits per second, which gives in total 100 gigabits per second performance of data transfer. So we can go further and see a little bit of, let's say, in principle or symbolic representation here. Of course, Mac controllers are inside the system on chip. In this case, T5000. We're discussing about T5000, which is on Tor module, and it have some transfer of data. And it was not mentioned, I was checking, that there is some intermit device which is between Mac and, let's say, this port established communication. So in documentation there is no signs for this 4 times 25 gigabits per second. There is no file layer or physical layer. It was not visible, so I didn't put it here, but transfer is present here. So in the documentation we see the lines going out for the transfer of data, and we use for this external oscillator probably for precise clock. You can see the frequency, it's 156 megahertz oscillator, which is powering, not powering, but supplying probably with tacts or giving correct signals for clock from external oscillator. And then we use that and also have output signals for this. Probably it's supposed to be 4 lines, but so I'm guessing these two and these two, and this it says clock, but we will check this. So it's supposed to be 4 lines towards port, which is QSFP28. So it's everything we need to know for now, and maybe we will expand our story about Ethernet and multi-gigabit Ethernet, which is delivered on this mini computer, but it's not anymore. We cannot say that it's mini computer, but it is JETSON THOR with the chip system on chip T5000, and we will have more of these discussions later and more descriptions. But I think we cleared like totally what Ethernet links we have on our mini computer, which is JETSON THOR. So until next time, I hope this is all.